Should be live. I'll have a little bit more time to set up the stream for the for the actual race tonight. I had to work today, so everything was kind of thrown together last minute here when I got home and finished eating dinner as quick as I possibly could and ran upstairs, and now we are here. So 15 laps in each heat race right now. Josh Berry in the number 25 truck is currently leading the way over Austin Wayne Self by about a second and a half. A lot of dirt caked onto the grills early on. A fairly muddy racetrack. There's been rain in the area at Knoxville tonight. Hopefully they can get the full 200 laps in for the main event that will start at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 10 laps to go in heat race number 1, and Josh Berry is just absolutely pulling away from the field right now. Austin Wayne Self is second, Bryce Miller third, Haley Deegan fourth, and Tanner Gray rounds out the top 5. 10 trucks in each heat, 4 heats total. Thanks for everybody tuning in, by the way, right now. Oni, welcome to the stream. There will be a lot better camera of what's going on throughout the course of this race as far as what you're seeing on the screen right now. I'll have it zoomed in eventually here. Josh Berry is pulling away so quickly, about a second a lap faster at this point. Midway through the run, he's got a 3.5 second lead just 7 laps in. And there's a little bit of mud getting caked onto the windshields as well. Not as bad as what we might have seen at Dirt Bristol when there was damp conditions for the Truck Series when they pulled out for that one lap in the heat races there. Haley Deegan putting the pressure right now on Bryce Miller. Austin Wayne Self likely holding them both up right now. A little bump and run down for Deegan as she works her way to the inside for third place into turns 3 and 4. And the door gets shut quickly now by the 3. Kind of a money mess way down low on the inside, keeping a very tight line around this racetrack at Knoxville. Deegan slides up the racetrack now. Chandler Smith works his way to the inside. Everybody trying to basically run the bottom of the racetrack right now, the preferred line early, while there's no real racing line caked in right now. But by the time the main event starts tonight, I'd have to imagine that would change. Dark Crypto, welcome to the stream as well. I got some modifying to do in between the heat races, and then I'll get the face cam and everything situated here. Big wheel spin getting into the corner. Maybe a little block on the one truck there of Deegan. Thrown from Bryce Miller in the 3. Chandler Smith is able to get to the inside and get around Deegan. Miller on the outside trying to make a pass down the 22 of Austin Wayne Self. Race leader Josh Berry now 6 seconds ahead of the field. It is a tight battle for second that Self is kind of holding everybody up right now. Miller finally gets around off the exit of turn 2. And now Self just trying to occupy third place for the moment with Deegan and Smith side by side right behind him. Deegan's got to run off the exit of turn 2. Now to the outside of Smith for third place. They're side by side. Already a little contact made with the one truck at some point in these last couple laps, likely with the 18. A little indentation right around the left front wheel well. Lap and a half to go right now for Josh Berry. Looking like it's going to be a very easy win for him here in heat race number 1. Deegan trying to run down Miller here late. Still within about a half a second. It took her a little bit longer to get around Austin Wayne Self. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go now in heat race number 1. Now rolling into 3 and 4 one final time. It's going to be Josh Berry winning heat race number 1. Just less than 5 seconds ahead of Bryce Miller, who will finish in second. Haley Deegan is going to end up finishing in third place, followed by Chandler Smith and Austin Wayne Self, the top 5. Tanner Gray finishes 6th, followed by Erickson 7th, Tate Fogelman 8th, Nolan 9th, and Rouse rounds out the top 10 in heat race number 1. Still 3 heat races left to go to run to the top of the hour. Then we'll have our 1 hour break before the main event at 9 p.m. tonight, the 200 lap main event at the Knoxville Raceway. Donnie Schatz's getting geared up to fire his engine now. He will be in heat race number 2. Ashton G, welcome to the stream. Didn't think I was doing a live reaction to the race. Yeah, I mentioned the last couple nights I was going to. I tried to put in as much self-advertisement as I could. All right, I'm going to work on trying to get my camera in here now. I'm actually watching it from my TV, not my laptop. I could not get logged into Hulu on my laptop, so that was causing a little bit of a delay and why the stream started literally as they were going green. For whatever reason, I couldn't get it. So I have no actual commentary audio right now in my ear like I usually do. So I would watch it on my TV, commentate it, and then I would also have the commentators in my ear so I know what's going on if there's an issue, because otherwise the TV's muted. So that way I can commentate. And I have it very, very like soft, so that way I can like barely hear them. So that way I'm able to talk over a bunch of voices at the same time. So it's a little difficult here. So you guys are gonna probably be seeing some random stuff. I'll get my camera on here real quick. You guys are gonna be seeing like a million different screens. There I am. There's the webcam you guys have wanted. Now I got to guesstimate where the hell to put this thing. I might have to adjust this. Let's see how that works. I don't think you guys are going to see it now that I'm thinking about it. I'm going to have to wait for the actual... Oh, yeah, it's a good spot. All right. I'll get everything lined up before the race starts later tonight. Again, I had to throw this together. I was planning on doing this stream, but I had to throw like everything together at the last second. As far as like trying to figure out how I was going to do this and get the live leaderboard up. Everything will be a lot more organized once the race starts at 9. Again, I had to work today, so I didn't get off and get home until like an hour before the race. I grabbed something to eat, and I was trying to set everything up. And then, like I said, Hulu, which I watch all the races on, pretty much anything live I watch on Hulu. I gotta close this door for a second too. Nobody's home right now, but I'm thinking somebody's gonna like just walk up here randomly. There we go. So again, Josh Berry won heat race number 1. I am not sure who's in every heat race tonight. Again, I have not been able to look at this too often, but I will get my race notes and everything else. Realistic broadcast for this. Again, we will do the broadcast of the live race as well later on tonight. Starting lineup for heat race number 2 will look like this. Zane Smith will be on the pole. Kyle Strickler will be 2nd. Ben Rhodes 3rd. Chase Purdy 4th. Matt Crafton 5th. Ryan Truex 6th. And row 4, Donnie Schatz and Cody Rodabaugh. Jake Griffin and Ty Gillen rounds out the 10-car field for heat race number 2. Again, 15 laps. Every single one of these 4 heat races tonight as well are based off of a random draw. And I guess there's a point you get for where you get points for where you finish in the heat race, and then a point for every pass you make, which is not usually how heat races go. Usually how heat races go is where you finish is where you start. So I don't know. NASCAR is doing it weird. I think they're doing it that way because there was no qualifying due to COVID. But if you could practice, why didn't they just qualify before the heat races like they would usually do? I don't know. So I find that kind of odd. But Kyle Larson fan, R6, welcome to the stream. Gonna have to watch what Todd Gilliland could do. He was one of the faster trucks back at the beginning of the season. at Dirt Bristol. Got into the wall in practice yesterday, so he's in a backup truck. That is why he is starting out back here in this heat race. Pace truck going to pull off of the racetrack. Zane Smith will lead the field to the green, electing to start on the inside lane. Green flag, and heat race number 2 is underway. Ben Rhodes all over the back of the 21 of Smith into turn 1, maybe giving him a little bit of a push into the corner. Meanwhile, the 20 truck on the outside really hanging it out there. Right rear sliding way, way out. Definitely pitching that truck a lot more than everybody else, but he is able to clear Ben Rhodes from down low for second place. Continues to stay in that middle groove, really. Nobody's way up near the wall right now because of how muddy and damp the track is. Really only one groove. And with giving up the bottom, Ben Rhodes is going to try to occupy that spot now underneath Strickler. A little contact to the left rear of Strickler getting into the corner. Runs him a little bit wide as they're still side by side for second, allowing Zane Smith now to pull away by about a half a second. And as they still run side by side, Matt Crafton is starting to close in now. He wants in on that battle for second place. Strickler again clear, though, off the exit of turn 4 on Rhodes. Got a little too loose on the exit of the corner. Allowing the 99 to get back underneath him again. Running the high side is going to help with the drive off the exit of the corner, especially with the truck on the bottom trying to make a pass. Meanwhile, Donnie Schatz still further back in the field in 7th, right where he started. The current king of the World of Outlaw Sprint Car Series as far as all of his accolades, not only at the Knoxville Raceway, but in that series in general. But making his Truck Series debut tonight, although he is a dirt regular, you still got to get used to these powerful race trucks that you have no experience with on the fly with very minimal practice as well. It'll still be interesting to say the least how Donnie Schatz will fare here tonight. Todd Gillen on the inside of him trying to make that pass for 7th. They're still side by side. Meanwhile, up towards the front of the field, Strickler and Rhodes continue to battle for second. Rhodes' teammate Crafton now looking low. Crafton, a dirt winner in the Truck Series. He won one of the Eldora Dirt Derby races. Rhodes again, he keeps getting to the inside of Strickler off the exit of these corners, but he cannot complete the pass and really hasn't come close to completing the pass yet. And now a big push up the racetrack for Rhodes. He had to burp the throttle a little bit extra. Strickler again holds clear for second place. Strickler is content with giving Rhodes the bottom of the racetrack right now to get that run. And now Strickler starting to move up the racetrack a little bit more. Maybe trying to get that groove worked in for the start of the main event later on today. Slowly moving up the track now that we're about halfway through this heat race. 7 laps to go at the line. Can Strickler run down Zane Smith, who has about a 1 second lead? He's starting to gain a little bit of ground on that upper groove. We'll see if Smith is going to continue to hang into the bottom. But if Rhodes can get back to the inside of Strickler, that's going to cost him a little bit more time in trying to run down Zane Smith at the front of the field. Schatz trying to get the outside to work as well as he holds the 40 truck of Ryan Truex behind him as they battle for 7th place. Gillen, meanwhile, from the back up to 6th now. The starting out back that could help Gillen as far as the starting position goes for tonight's race, earning points for every pass he makes on the racetrack. He's got a little bit of damage to the left front of his race car, and I wonder if some of that might be from the mud caked in on the inside of the racetrack. And now we have a caution with 5 laps to go in the stage. Not sure what for. It might be for rain. I don't know. Again, I can't listen to the broadcast, so I don't know what's going on right now, why there was a caution with 5 laps to go in heat race number 2. All 10 trucks still keeping it in the right direction. Nobody spun around or anything. Caution laps will not count during these heat races as well, so it's actually a red flag right now, similar to what we saw in the All-Star race. That was so the flag man was waving the white flag for whatever reason. Maybe he thought it was 10 laps. So the flagman gave a white flag signal, but I don't know what the caution is out for. That could be what the caution was for. I'll be able to listen to the commentary so that way I know what's going on for the main event race here tonight. But as far as the heat races go, I'm not going to be able to listen to anything for the moment, unfortunately. And of course, with that, I can't give you guys any driver interviews and unplug my mic so you guys can listen to that as well because there's no audio on my laptop currently for the actual race broadcast. But they are lined up double file, looking like they're going to go green. Trevor Grimes, welcome to the stream. A lot of standing water in the infield, so you can definitely tell they have had a lot of rain in the Knoxville area. Again, rain is threatening so far tonight, but it was looking a lot worse than what it is now. It looks like there is a little bit of sun out in the Knoxville, Iowa area. And now with the field bunched up for this restart and the outside slowly getting worked in, we'll see if Strickler can get around Zane Smith. Still unaware of what the caution was for, but if you guys can let me know down in the chat, I will get that added information in for you guys. Green flag is back in the air. So they roar off into turn one. Strickler way up, making his own groove basically right now on the outside. Crafton trying to follow that line. Smith shuts the door on the 20 down the back straightaway. Now to the outside of Zane Smith into turns 1 and 2. Strickler with a run. And we got another caution. I think. I don't know. I think they're still green, but Fox... I think they're still green. Fox is having an issue right now with their... Cam, they just said... They had the caution light come back on Fox's... lead with 2.5 laps to go in heat race number 2. Smith continues to dive to the bottom, trying to get to Strickler once again. Strickler continues on the outside groove, really making it work. Crafton's on the outside as well, but he is not gaining any ground like Strickler is currently. And again, Strickler's really getting that truck to really widen out the center of the corner with the rear tires sliding way out, really pitching that car, arcing it a lot more than everybody else on the racetrack. And between that and running the top, it is all working for him. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go at Knoxville. Smith has another charge now to the back bumper. He's within a car length and a half going into turns 3 and 4. One more shot to get him. Strickler again goes to the top. He'll give Smith the bottom. Strickler slides up the racetrack. Zane Smith to the bottom. He can't quite complete the pass. And it'll be Strickler winning heat race number 2 with Zane Smith all over his back bumper at the checker flag. Matt Kraft in 3rd. Todd Gillen from the back up to 4th. And Ben Rhodes rounds out the top 5. Donnie Schott 6th. Chase Purdy 7th. Ryan Truex 8th. Griffin 9th. And Rotorball rounds out the top 10. Strickler almost slid a little too wide in that final corner of the final lap, giving an opportunity for Zane Smith, but he just fell short. And Strickler will win, sorry, not stage 2, heat race number 2. And again, if you're just tuning in or have missed the start of the heat races, they are on Fox Sports 1 currently, and the race later on tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will also be on Fox Sports 1. Again, Kyle Strickler wins heat race number 2 and heat race number 1. Sorry, what I was going to say was heat race number 1 a little while ago went to Josh Berry. 2 more heat races still to run. Again, 15 laps each. And Fox comes back from the commercial break between heat races, we'll get that starting lineup out to you guys. 15 people currently watching. Thanks for everybody tuning in here. Like, share, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. We are live on KRC here tonight. Truck Series action at the Knoxville Raceway, doing a live commentary for it if you guys can't watch the race, or if you are watching the race and choose my commentary over the race coverage, you can mute the TVs, you can listen to my commentary. We have the live leaderboard also on the screen as well. We do live commentary for NASCAR video games and real races on the weekend when I'm not at the racetrack. I've been at the track the last 3 weekends, so it has been almost a month since we've been able to do this. I think the Texas All-Star race was the last time I was actually in my house for a race weekend, so that is why we're doing this here tonight. No coverage from Atlanta for myself this weekend. That's why we're doing Knoxville here tonight. We're just 2 subscribers away from 900 coming into this one, and I think we can get there by the end of the night. Currently 4 likes as well. Hit that like button right now. Drive that up, and again, we will be back at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight for even more fun at the Knoxville Raceway. Weather permitting, of course. But it does look like they're going to get these heat races in. It was showing about a 90% chance of rain earlier when I was on lunch looking at the weather for Knoxville, pretty much from about 6 o'clock through the rest of the night. And it kind of dissipated, I guess, because they're racing now, obviously. And now the weather is showing not a 70, now a 70, sorry, can't talk there, 70% chance of rain, but not starting until about 10 now. So I don't know if it's just dissipating or it's not getting to the track at all or splitting around the track. I don't know what's going on, but the racing gods are allowing this one to take place here tonight. Again, they've been interviewing every winner of these heat races. Josh Berry, heat race number 1 winner. Kyle Strickler, heat race number 2 winner. Starting lineup for heat race number 3. With the 0-2 of Chris Windham out on the front row. Jack Wood will be outside front row. Brian Brown, another World of Outlaw regular, coming into race here tonight. John Hunter Nemechek will be in row number 2. Nemechek looked fast at Dirt Bristol earlier this season as well. Tyler Ankrum and Morgan Alexander in row number 3. Jessica Friesen and Johnny Sauter back in row 4 with Danny Bone and Derek Kraus rounding out the field for the 10-truck heat race number 3. At least the smile on the faces of both Strickler and Berry goes to show that they're having a little bit of fun. Although it's always fun when you're out in front and winning, leading laps. Not sure what the ticket sales were like for this weekend, but I would assume it's going to be a packed crowd for tonight's race. The first ever NASCAR race at Knoxville Raceway, built back in the year 1901 for horse racing. Now host of the Knoxville Nationals, the world famous Knoxville Nationals, the biggest sprint car race, not only in the U.S., but probably in the world, hosted annually towards the beginning of August every summer. for the World of Outlaws. I believe the green flag will drop this time by for this heat race. It'll actually be Brian Brown on the front row. I'm not sure where Wyndham's at. Wyndham is at the rear. And actually, Michael Annett. So maybe a driver change, and Chris Wyndham is no longer in the race, but you guys are seeing Wyndham in the 0-2 right now. Looks like Michael Annett is in the race truck. So Brian Brown will actually be the leader when this race begins. Green flag in the air. Tyler Ankrum tucked right underneath Brown in the middle of turns 1 and 2. The 24 truck of Jack Wood on the outside, trying to get the run as they're still side by side for the lead down the back straightaway into turn 3. 2x2 for most of the field through lap number 1. Leader of lap 1 will be Jack Wood in the 24, getting the outside groove to work. But only by half a truck length at the line, and now it's Brian Brown. Brandon Brown in the Xfinity Series. And Jessica Friesen is barreling that race truck into these corners, has already made 2 passes for position. She's up to 4th, and now all of a sudden on the back bumper of a former Knoxville National winner at Knoxville Raceway nonetheless, of Brian Brown. Tyler Ankrum on the outside trying to get around the dirt regular for second place. Almost cleared him into turn 3. Brown drives it really deep into the corner on the inside. Interesting that most of these dirt regulars have been on the outside of the racetrack while Brian Brown has been on the inside for the start, despite starting in the outside groove. Jessica Friesen, one of the other dirt regulars as well. On the inside lane, Johnny Sauter, Derek Kraus on the outside getting it to work. Sauter has already gotten by Friesen. Kraus in the process gets by Friesen and sliding up to the outside, almost into the wall, trying to get around Johnny Sauter. Derek Kraus really hanging that race truck out as well. And up at the front of the field, Tyler Ankrum has closed the gap on Jack Wood. They're bumper to bumper with 10 laps to go at the line. And now Ankrum's underneath Wood off the exit of turn 4. Side by side for the race lead with 10 laps to go in heat race number 3. Ankrum leads the lap at the line by half a car length. He's getting the inside lane to work as he clears in the center of 1 and 2. But look out for the 19 of Derek Kraus, who is already to the outside of Brown for 3rd place. He might be the fastest truck on the racetrack. In fact, that last lap, Derek Kraus was a 1/10 of a second quicker than Tyler Ankrum. As you see on the live leaderboard, lap times from the prior lap will be showing up throughout every night, as well as the best lap and when it was ran throughout the heat races right now in the main event later on as well. Brown to the back bumper of the 24 truck on the inside, trying to get there, couldn't quite do it. Kraus, meanwhile, on the outside is going to clear for second off the exit of turn 2, and he's still got 8.5 laps to try and catch the leaders. And Kraus is now within a half a second of Ankrum. Had a good finish to the end of heat race number 2. Johnny Sauter also working the outside lane. Started at the rear, comes in many, many points below the cutoff line. Sauter likely in a must-win situation for these final 2 races of the regular season for the Truck Series tonight at Knoxville. And then they don't race again until Watkins Glen for their cutoff race before the playoffs. So Sauter trying to go to work early in this heat race and try to get the best finish he can here to get the best starting position he can for tonight's main event. But Sauter looking pretty quick as well. The 24 truck of Jack Wood, who started on the pole, is already back to 5th. Outside pole, I should say. Kraus within a couple truck lengths now of Tyler Ankrum. They'll be coming to 5 laps to go this time by. Mark Franks, welcome to the stream. Who do I think are the best 6 trucks? Well, we're only in heat race number 3. We have not seen Sheldon Creed on the racetrack yet. I think he'll be one to look out for here today. Got some dirt experience. He's a truck regular as well. He will be in heat race number 4. But as of right now, in this race, for sure, Derek Kraus is looking like the fastest race truck. Though Ankrum has probably made the most momentum on the bottom of any of the 3 heat races so far. Kyle Strickler was really using the outside to his advantage. Zane Smith also was working the bottom well, but not as well as his teammate Ankrum in this heat race, at least. Though some of that could be because the rubber is starting to lay into the racetrack and the groove is starting to widen out maybe a little bit more. And it's more prevalent. The lap times are a lot quicker now than what they were at the start of heat race number 1. Now that we have nearly 45 laps of action in. Kraus is within about a half a truck length off the exit of turn 2 with 2.5 laps to go as he tries to run down Ankrum for the Heat 3 win. It's the longest way around, but you can really get back to the throttle if you can pitch the truck right and get the run down the straightaways, even with this being a flatter dirt track. Much different from the dirt Bristol race we saw earlier this season in NASCAR. Maybe a little too loose off the exit of turn 2 that time for Kraus. He's still within about a truck length to a truck length and a half. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go now in heat race number 3. A half a mile to decide the heat race winner. Kraus with a huge run off the exit of turn 4. Now he guns it to the bottom. He runs a different lane from what he's been running this entire race. He sees what Ankrum's able to do, but he was not able to close, and Ankrum beats him back to the gas now. Into turn 3, 1 last shot for Kraus, but he lost too much ground off turn 2. He's not going to get there, and Tyler Ankrum, another driver below the cutoff line, is going to win heat race number 3. He's the first truck regular to win a heat race here tonight, with Josh Berry winning heat 1 and heat 2 going to dirt driver Kyle Strickler. Derek Kraus second, Brian Brown third, Johnny Sauter fourth, Jack Wood rounds out the top 5. Jessica Friesen sixth, Danny Bones seventh, Chris Windham eighth. Even though it looked like a net was in the car, I still don't know what's the issue there, if Windham is even at the track or not. Again, I cannot listen to the broadcast, though I will be able to for the main event race tonight. So if there's any issues, any caution maybe that we might have missed during commercial break, I'll be able to relay that message to you guys. But for right now, I'm unable to. Three heat races in the book, 1 more still to go, and this might be the most stacked of all the heat races so far. You have Stuart Friesen, who is a former dirt winner in the Truck Series. He won the last race at Eldora in the Truck Series in 2019. Sheldon Creed, Stadium Super Truck champion, multi-time Stadium Super Truck champion. He knows how to get it done on dirt. Austin Hill, of course, one of the better drivers this season overall. We'll have to see how he'll do on dirt today. Grant Enfinger's in this heat race as well. Chase Briscoe, great dirt racer, runs the Chili Bowl Nationals every winter. He'll be starting in the first couple rows. Brett Moffitt also in this heat race. And young phenom prospect Carson Hocevar also in heat race number 4. So saving the best for last perhaps tonight as far as talent goes for this 4th and final heat race to set the field for tonight's main event at Knoxville. And again, we'll have an hour break. Our coverage starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight for the main event. It's a beautiful sun-shining evening at the Knoxville Raceway. Engines are already fired as we get ready to start this final heat race. Tyler Ankrum has had a very rough season so far, likely in a must-win situation if he's going to want to make it into the Truck Series playoffs. And these final two races really are both wild card races for the Truck Series in the regular season, with this being another dirt race this year tonight at Knoxville and then a road course at Watkins Glen next month. Again, this is the only race in the month of July for the Camping World Truck Series. Derek Kraus, most points scored in that heat race. Ankrum, your winner in the heat race, had the second most points. Again, these points will set the starting lineup for the main event tonight. Here's a look at the starting lineup. We mentioned the drivers in heat race number 4, but we'll tell you in what order they'll start from. Row number 1, Brett Moffitt and Carson Hocevar. Row 2 will be the 04 of Chase Briscoe, Cup Series regular, and Norm Benning on the outside of row 2. Grant Enfinger and Austin Hill will be in row 3. Sheldon Creed, Jennifer Jo Cobb in row 4. Stuart Friesen and Andrew Gordon will be in row 5. I really hope Norm Benning has at least a good takeoff, because otherwise that outside lane behind him is just going to get stacked up. This might be dangerous with him starting in 4th place. Remember, Norm Benning likely had his career highlight in the Truck Series on dirt at Eldora within the first couple years there of running in that last chance race to make it to the main event. Got that last spot by just inches, beating and banging his way in some time ago. Yes, there are definitely 5 fast trucks in this race. Maybe even more than that. Green flag waves. Heat race number 4 underway. Great launch on the outside for Carson Hocevar. Norm Benning kind of stacked up the outside from row 2 on back. Trucks quickly jumped to the bottom. 3 wide for the race lead off the exit of turn 2. Chase Briscoe made a dive bomb move to get to the inside of Brett Moffitt. Hocevar, meanwhile, to the lead at the front. A little bit of contact in turns 3 and 4 now between the 04 of Briscoe and the 37 of Moffitt. They're still side by side for second. Sheldon Creed is already up to 4th right behind him. Door opened up on the inside. Huge slide job by Briscoe in the middle of turns 1 and 2. A crossover down to the bottom for Moffitt. Holding up the 98 truck of Enfinger behind him, now slides to the outside. 3 wide for 3rd place. Sheldon Creed's in the middle. He gets pinched. They're nearly 4 wide as Briscoe slid up the racetrack as well. I couldn't tell if they made contact or not from the aerial view, but that was very close as they were nearly 4 wide off the exit of turn 2. And these drivers are putting on a show for 2nd place, and we're only a couple laps into this heat race. Carson Hocevar is now stretched out to about a 1-second lead. Briscoe, who sets the pace in 2nd right now, is starting to pull away from Moffitt finally, and is starting to run down Hocevar. It was about a 1/10.5 faster that last lap. Briscoe was on the top, now down to the bottom. Maybe he was a little too tight on the outside. It looked like he was sliding up the track way too much. Maybe couldn't get that truck to rotate on corner entry, so he moves down to the bottom. Now back to the top in 3 and 4. We'll see if he moves back to the bottom again in 1 and 2. And he does. So it looks like Briscoe is running the bottom lane in 1 and 2. For whatever reason or another, he is not running the outside there, but in 3 and 4, he is running the outside. Well, I will say, Briscoe probably has more dirt experience than any other driver in this field, outside of maybe Stuart Friesen, considering he is older than Sheldon Creed. Creed still holding off the 98 of Enfinger. Enfinger is also a former winner of the Dirt Derby at Eldora. Not known as a dirt racer, but he is keeping up with Creed to the outside now for 5th place. Austin Hill kind of sneakily inside the top 5 and 4th right now, and is right on the back bumper of Brett Moffitt for 3rd. All 40 trucks will be in the main event here tonight. Nobody is having to race their way in with the 10 trucks at each of these 4 heat races. 8 laps to go currently in heat race number 4. Hocevar kind of maintains about a 9/10 of a second lead on Briscoe. Briscoe now has moved to the outside again through 3 and 4. And now he's on the outside in turns 1 and 2. So he stops going to the bottom at that end of the track. He's running the top all the way around this racetrack now. But that clean track position has to be playing key for these drivers out at the front of the field today, because it has been tough to pass the leaders, and a lot of that could be the vision. Now, when we get 40 trucks on the track for the main event tonight, and it's 200 laps, there's going to be a lot more dust. There's going to be a lot more dirt and mud flying, maybe caking onto the windshields, becoming a visibility issue a lot more than what it is while we have just 10 trucks on the racetrack for a 15-lap heat race like we're seeing right now. A little less than a half a tenth quicker there for Briscoe that last lap on Hocevar, but he's not quite gaining enough time to be able to run this pace and catch Hocevar. He's going to have to pick up the pace a little bit or have the 42 of Hocevar start to drop back. Hocevar, one of the drivers that is barely above the cutoff line coming into tonight's set of races. Moffitt almost set it up in the wall off the exit of turn 2. Austin Hill gets to the inside of him. Moffitt gets a great run, though, through 3 and 4, and he'll clear Hill right back again down the front straightaway. Even that last lap between Briscoe and Hocevar. 7/10 of a second was the difference at the line. 3 laps to go this time by in heat race number 4, and that will round up the heat races tonight at Knoxville, and we'll have our starting lineup for the 40 truck field later tonight. At last lap, Briscoe was a little bit slower than Hocevar, so he lost a little bit of time. Moffitt's starting to pull away now from Austin Hill, and he's actually slowly closing in on Briscoe for second. Not sliding around the corner as much as the 0-4 of Briscoe, but he is definitely closing in. And the fight for second is on now with a lap and a half to go. Briscoe is sliding a little too wide. I think he's got a tight race truck, and he's not able to keep it in that groove on the outside like he wants to. He's almost kind of running above it just a little bit. Too early in the daytime to work that cushion. White flag in the air, final lap of the heat races tonight. Hocevar with a 1.4 second lead. Battle for second off the exit of turn 2. Moffitt is close to the back bumper of Briscoe. He's going to have one more shot to get him in 3 and 4. A dive bomb move to the inside. Briscoe gave him the inside, running the top. Briscoe slides up the racetrack off the exit of the corner. So does Moffitt. Moffitt cannot stay underneath him. Hocevar wins stage heat race number 4. Chase Briscoe second, followed by Moffitt third, Austin Hill fourth, and Sheldon Creed rounds out the top 5. Stuart Friesen back in 7th behind Enfinger in 6th. Gordon 8th, Norm Benny 9th, and Jennifer Jo Cobb will round out the top 10. Shocked Kyle Larson is not running the truck race today. Yeah, I know. I'm actually surprised Briscoe's in it, to be honest. Considering the Cup Series is in Atlanta, he would have had an extra day to get down there. I guess with rain in the area, it was a little risky, because if it would have gotten washed out till, say, tomorrow, then you're putting a little bit of more of a risk. Though tomorrow looks like it's just as much of a chance of rain as what it does on tonight's forecast. So when Fox comes back from the commercial break, we'll have the starting lineup for tonight's main event, 200 laps at the Knoxville Raceway. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Tyler. So again, we'll have a 1 hour break. We'll pick the live stream back up again tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will have some audio. So if we get any driver interviews throughout the course of tonight's race, you guys can listen to that. As well as the live commentary. Like, share, subscribe again for more daily NASCAR content. We do live commentary for real races, as you're seeing right here tonight at Knoxville. NASCAR video game races, both past and present. Live commentary with those. And the jump start of my young broadcasting career and my journey to getting into the broadcast booth one day in the sport of NASCAR. Expecting a wreck fest tonight similar to Dirt Bristol. I would not be surprised because I think the last 3 or 4 dirt truck races have been wreck fest. So, especially 2019 at Eldora, that was sloppy. That was like the worst truck race I've seen in person. That was actually the first truck race I've seen in person too. So it wasn't great. Like the truck series is kind of like a junkyard half the time anyway, but it was really bad that day. Derek Kraus will be starting from the pole tonight at Knoxville. Awesome for him. Scored the most points in the heat races here today. That was probably the shortest interview I think I've ever seen. And I think it's because Fox is going. Well, no, they still got about 5 minutes yet. That was weird. Well, because they had to get the commercial. They had to get the commercial real quick. That's probably why the interview was like one sentence. A quick message from Jordy Ants. Jordy Ants tablets, excuse me. And now, a quick word from Duracell. Dirt Bristol was sloppy this year. 12 cautions in a single race is ridiculous, especially considering the truck races are like only 150 laps. Yeah, that's what. There was 12 cautions in the last Eldora dirt race as well. So, there's a ladybug in my room. A really tiny one, like this big. Thought it was a gnat for a second. Let me take a quick little look on Racing Reference to see what the cautions have been like in the Truck Series Dirt Derby races. Obviously, so we know Kraus is on the pole. Still got to wait for the rest of the starting lineup to be announced at least. I would assume when they come back from commercial break this time, we'll get the full rundown of the starting lineup. I forgot Chase Briscoe won the Dirt Derby at Eldora in 2018 as well. Yeah, 12 cautions for 68 caution laps in a 150 lap race. So over a third of the race was ran under caution at Eldora last season. I do remember that. 2 seasons ago, 2019. In 2018, when Chase Briscoe won, 9 cautions for 41 caution laps out of the 150. So almost a third of the race under caution. Ten cautions back in 2017. Matt Crafton won for 59 caution laps. Here's the starting lineup for tonight's race, by the way. Derek Kraus, Tyler Ankrum on the front row. Todd Gilliland and Haley Deegan in row 2. I can't read it that quick because they're flying through the lineup. I mean, they're already down to row 9 already, and I only read the first 2 rows, so I sorry for that one. But again, Derek Kraus will be on the pole. I believe his first career pole in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. So Knoxville 150, is it 150 laps tonight? I thought I saw 200 last time I was on the NASCAR app. Maybe it's only 150 laps. I thought it was 200. That makes sense, though, that it's 150, because every dirt race the Truck Series has had has been 150. They've all been on half miles, too. Let me check. Yeah, it's 150 laps. I thought it was supposed to be 200. But I guess it's 150. So they only have to get 75 laps in tonight for it to be official. So I think they could do it. If the rain's still expected to come at 10, they should get 75 laps in an hour. And if not, it's because it's going to be a wreck fest. But we'll see. All right. I think that's going to have to wrap it up for right now. We'll be back later tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for everybody tuning in here for the heat races. Again, like, share, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Extremely close right now to 900 subs. We're at 899. 899. We're one away. I think we can get there later tonight. So thanks for everybody tuning in. Again, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Race will be on Fox Sports 1 here tonight. But we'll have the live commentary right here on the channel. You won't miss a thing. On KRC. Thanks for watching, everybody. And I'll see you in an hour.